You know, there's a way to buy strong stocks and get them on sale. In this week's video, I will show you a simple strategy for investors to buy those high quality companies, but get them at the right price. Plus, I'll do my normal market analysis and we'll look at the trade of the week. But let's start with how to buy stocks when they are on sale. Strong stocks when they are on sale. Well, the first thing we want to do is focus on stocks that are in linear upward trends. It's very easy to see this. I'll show you this on a chart in a moment. But one of the things that will help is to look for stocks that have a sentiment stock score. Go to my website, stockscores.com. Look for stocks with a sentiment stock score of at least 60 and in a linear trend. And again, I'll show you this in just a moment. You see, we don't want to chase stocks when they are ripping to the upside. Instead, we want to buy these strong stocks when they pull back from the high to the trend line and then break that pullback. We want to monitor these stocks for a short-term break of pullback. So as always, let's take a look at a chart and explain what I mean. Here's a stock, General Motors, that has been quite strong. You can see its sentiment stock score, which is the green line here, has been above 60 for some time as the stock has been trending higher. Now, anytime you hit a high and then pull back, you're setting up for a potential trade on this strategy. So here again, we hit a new high, we pull back. What we're looking for is the break of the pullback. We have it there, we have it there. And so instead of buying the stock at 72, you buy it at 70 and you ride it up for this leg. You buy it here, you ride it up until the little upward trend is broken. It's a trading strategy where you can get in and out of strong stocks, taking advantage of profit taking. Now let's take a look at Apple, and you can see it again on this chart. We hit a new high, we pull back, we break the pullback. We go up, we hit a new high, we pull back, we break the pullback. We move up, hit a new high, pull back, break the pullback. Now, one of the things that will help you with this strategy is watching the shorter term time frame for the break of the pullback. And that's what we want to do on Apple going in next week. We've hit a high, we've pulled back, and in order to see the break of the pullback, it's helpful to watch the intraday chart. So this is now a 30-day, 60-minute chart. And you can see that we've made this pullback and we just need to break this pullback right here. So a move up through 280 would be an indication that the stock is ready to make that next leg up. So very simple. Find the stocks that are strong. Find the stocks that have a linear upward trend where you can draw a line across the bottoms and it's a straight line going up from left to right. And then when the stock runs away from the trend line, hits a new high, wait for it to come back to the trend line, break the pullback, get the confirmation from the hourly chart or the 30-minute chart, and then buy on the break of the pullback for the next leg up. Always do good risk management. If the stock pulls down below the low of the pullback, then we want to take the loss and move on. All right, let's get into this week's market analysis, and we'll jump into my website, stockscores.com. A reminder, I have a free weekly email that goes out with my stock picks with some trading lessons. You can register for that right here on the See More link. But what we're going to begin with this week is a look at the S&P 500, which is in its own upward trend. I can draw a line across the bottoms. We had this upward trend line here. We broke it there. We've managed to come back. And now we're getting stuck at this resistance level. So I'm a little bit concerned because, as I said a few weeks ago, we had broken the upward trend line and we need to see this market break through this ceiling price to remain healthy. And instead on Friday, it got stuck and we may see it pull back here in the short term. If we go to the 1 month chart, you can see that rejection at resistance that we saw on Friday. Now, someone in the comments last week pointed out correctly that the sentiment stock score for this market was below 60, and it is. But it's also bumping up against resistance, having recently broken the upward trend. So I do think some caution is warranted on the S&P. Once we can break through that 690 level, 680 level, well, no, 690, then we've resumed the upward trend. But until that happens, a little bit of caution is warranted. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100. And you can see here a little breakdown from a falling top on Friday. So we hit a new high, we broke this upward trend line, we rallied, failed to make a new high, and instead rolled over from that new high. That increases the chance that this market is going to move lower. And you can see that the stock score spiked down on Friday because That is a negative breakdown. It's the second one we've had in the last 2 months, the first being the breakdown here, falling top, breakdown there. If we look at the short-term 1-month chart, you can see that little rolling over here, breaking down. So it's not a severe sell signal, but it is something worth noting and I think deserves caution. Now the IWM is actually now looking better than the large cap markets because it was able to break through to new highs, and that's largely because interest rates continue to go down, and lower interest rates are good for small cap stocks. So I do think that a place to be in the market is the small cap group. For quite a long time here, we were underperforming. The Stockscores had fallen lower. They're starting to get back up again as we begin to build that upward momentum. All right, let's move along to the Canadian market, which is also at new highs. You can see it's been climbing steadily. We had a little pause here for 6 or 7 weeks and then broke out and resumed the upward trend. Stockscores have been strong that whole time, keeping you in this market. Looking at the 1-month chart, you can see the trend is up. So this is a bullish market, looking better than the tech-heavy NASDAQ, for example. Let's take a look at gold. One of the reasons the Canadian market has been strong, it went parabolic, broke the parabolic trend line. It held the linear trend line, and it's still starting to build rising bottoms. Gold is coming into that resistance level there, so I do expect that we're going to get stuck here, but it does look better than it had looked just a few weeks ago as we were getting profit taking on that market. All right, moving along, oil. Oil is in a situation of falling tops. That's pessimistic. It's pretty much sideways over the last 8 months. In fact, if we go back on a 3-year chart, you'll see that it's been sideways for a long time. It is, however, dipping down toward these floor price of support. And typically when it gets down to that level, we see the market bounce. And so if we had a strong sell-off week, I would actually think about buying the bounce off of support. But it's not a particularly strong looking market, although we do see buying in the oil stocks, I think simply because they're cheap relative to the tech stocks. Let's take a look now at the US dollar. UUP is the ETF for that. And it broke this upward trend line. So here's the situation. It runs up, pulls back to the trend line, bounce. Runs up, pulls back, bounces. Runs up, pulls back, fails to hold the upward trend line, and now building a falling top. And so that points to the US dollar moving lower. If we look at the 1-month chart, you can see that the trend has now gone negative. So we want to be careful with the US dollar. Now, something that I had been bearish on for some time in the short term was Bitcoin. And you can see why. It broke through its floor, built a falling top, that's a sign of pessimism, and has been moving lower ever since. Now it has stabilized a little bit over the last few weeks, but until we start to build rising bottoms, I think that you want to be careful with this. The main problem is there's your downward trend line, and if we hit this, we probably get rejected and move lower. Now, if we can break the downward trend line, well, then I'll get a little more optimistic, but that is not the likely outcome. Finally, let's take a look at the chart of TLT, which is our treasury bonds, and you can see that they've been moving lower, and therefore the bond market sort of pricing in higher interest rates. Even though interest rates have been coming down, the bond market getting a little pessimistic about the future. So my ratings then, neutral on both time frames for the US large cap and NASDAQ. US small cap is actually bullish on both time frames. Canadian stocks bullish on both time frames. Gold short-term bullish, still long-term neutral, as we are going to have to deal with that resistance. Oil short-term bearish, long-term neutral. The same for the US dollar. Bitcoin neutral on both time frames. Bonds short-term bearish and long-term neutral. All right, let's get into the trade of the week. And this is an example of a day trade where you can, just like we talked about at the top of the video for longer-term trades, we can buy the pullback to the trend line and the break of the pullback. And this was a stock that was really hot this week, and it had a huge run early in the week, and then it gave it all back, and then it tried to make another run on Friday. And here is the upward trend line, and what you can see is that we would run away from the trend, pull back, and bounce. Run away from the trend and pull back and bounce. And this was what I call an intraday pullback. You can see there a pink and yellow dot. That meant that there was abnormal buying pressure with abnormal liquidity and volume on that candle. And that was a nice little trade because it doesn't look like much, but that was a move from $2 to $4, 100% gain in just a few hours. Now the trend line ultimately broken right there. That is a strong sell signal, and good thing, because look what happened. It gave it all back. This thing was crazy. $4 in the afternoon, finishing the day under 25 cents. And this is why you have to use good risk management when you're trading these low float, very volatile stocks. Don't believe in the dream. Don't stick with them. Just follow the chart and let the chart tell you what to do. Well, hope you've enjoyed this week's Stockscores Market Minutes. If you want more information on the tools and courses that we offer, go to stockscores.com. If you've enjoyed this video, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, trade well.